up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, SRI Performance, and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. I about forgot all what to say. Anyway, I'm David.
I'm Connor.
What's going on?
Not a whole lot.
We're back.
Yeah, feels
I
like,
feel like it's been forever.
Was it?
I don't know.
Did we miss
2
one?
weeks.
2
We
weeks?
missed 1 week. We missed
Yeah.
1 week is all we missed. I don't know. It's like when I miss an episode, all of a sudden I feel like it's been forever since we've been in here. And all this stuff is going on, and I don't know. What you been up to?
Not a whole lot. Guess we went up to Martinsville last week. Saw the old Valley Star Credit Union 300. It's a good race, and kind of had a normal week. And then of course we raced this Saturday,
Yep.
and that's the main things going on.
For sure. Cool. We'll get into all that because see, that's what I'm saying. We had so much. It's like every time we have to take a week off, there was tons of racing that week. So we had to get into all that. And we got plenty of time to do it. We don't have anybody on the show today, just us hanging out for a little while. So anyway, been a last week wasn't here. I thought I was gonna be able to make it back. Jackson had a doctor's appointment in Charleston actually. With the ENT doctor, and found out he's going to have his tonsils taken out.
Boy.
Yeah, it's bad, but
I mean,
it's one of
a lot of
things-
people do it.
Well, yeah, they do, but it's just one of them things. It's like, all right, if we're going to do it, let's go ahead and just
Yeah, just
get it over with. So he's got a date
what's the timetable look like?
week after Wednesday after Thanksgiving. So pretty quick.
That's good. At least it'll be over for Christmas. That'll be
Yeah,
be out
had
your
some
mind.
earlier than that, but we're going on a cruise in the week before Thanksgiving, and then Thanksgiving. I won't even get through those for let's get those, and then we can chill out after that. So we were down there. I probably could have made it back, but I didn't want to push it.
It's
It's
all right.
So so we had that. He's had some Miracle League game. Actually, they're at a Miracle League game right now.
Really? They have a fall season too?
Yeah, they got a spring and a fall season. Cool. So he plays both of them. So he's at a Miracle League game right now, playing tonight with the Strikers. But yeah, we've been wide open. Other than that, I guess on whole lot of nothing more than anything.
Yeah. Did that.
Like Connor said, we were at the racetrack this past weekend. Spent all day Saturday over at Dillon Motor Speedway. Had a day over there. Connor had a pretty good day.
Decent.
But anyway, I want to go back real quick since you were just talking about it. Let's go back. Let's talk about the Valley Star Credit
Union
300, whatever it is. Martinsville 300. You were there on. When did you go up? Because it got rain.
Yeah, we just went up Sunday.
You just went up
Sunday
Sunday.
morning, yeah.
Okay, so you wasn't one of them that was going up there Saturday.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
then-
we planned on it, but they called it, a little while before we would have left. So
good.
thankfully we didn't start on that.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people were already like halfway up there, and they were like, "Well, it rained out. What do I do?" So
Wow, if you were halfway up there that early, you must have left early.
They did. Yeah, that's what I said too. But anyway, so qualifying the way they got it now, heat races the way they got it now. I don't know if I like it. I'm gonna put it out there. I don't necessarily like that nobody is locked in from qualifying. Personally,
I feel like at least the top 5 should.
I kind of used to like it when top 20 were locked in.
Yeah,
I mean, because I feel like it should count for something
Yeah.
other than just a heat race starting position, And just because, we didn't see it, thank God. But man, if somebody if say your car is just you're in the top 10 in that race, but your car's so. Dude wants to come in there, especially at Martinsville. All you got to do is just drive a little deeper in the corner than the guy.
Yeah.
Just clean you out. And we saw 10th place get cleaned out.
Well, I'm saying,
quite a
and
few
it's
times.
weird to have a 10th place as a transfer. That's such a weird. You don't see heat races are supposed to be top 3, top 5.
Right,
You don't
right.
not 10 people transfer from a heat
Right.
race, but
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's worth
It's just weird. Yeah, I feel like I didn't need it. There's already enough
I think
excitement. You don't need.
at least the top 5 out of each of those heat races shouldn't have been in it.
Yeah, you should. I mean, that should be out of your mind
Exactly.
at that point. But
So I'm not big on that, but fortunately we didn't see too much other than right around transfer position.
Yeah, there was no last chance race. But
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know, mixed feelings about that because the last chance race was an absolute
Oh, that was a
wreck. It was terrible. I mean, you couldn't do it. I mean, it was just everybody wrecking. So I don't know. Just I wish more people would transfer to qualifying because you just want to avoid that. I feel like you've earned the right to avoid some of that if you can compete like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, so in the heat races, being that they happened, all that fun stuff, we could see it from the TV watching on Flow Racing. But how many cars exactly did Connor Hall hit or take out?
Wow. I mean, he was running right around the transfer spot and went all the way back to the 20th, and I think he hit everyone on his way back up. If I'm being honest with you, that was. I don't even know if I would want to start at a car that was that tore up.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I feel like if you have to do that to get to the race, I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I had a car, I feel different. But if you got to do all that to get into the race, it just might not be worth it.
Man, in my opinion, and we've had this issue at some of our local tracks even, and it's probably an issue everywhere, but what is the point at which you black flag, disqualify someone or whatever for rough driving?
Yeah. I've seen them do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we've seen them do it in the past, but it's like it's not consistent. And this is anywhere. It's not just, But Martinsville, when they run that race, it's like they ain't throwing black flag nobody for rough driving.
I used to a little bit. They used to black flag like for jumping starts and anytime somebody wrecked somebody.
And did you hear that? They changed the rule on the starts.
Yeah, you could beat the guy.
Yeah, you could beat the guy to the line. It was just like, it was a free-for-all.
Yeah.
I personally think they need to get some structure back to this race. A little bit of, because if you keep on, just like we've talked about other things, you're going to lose integrity of the race eventually.
I mean, you're seeing the fields shrink down a little bit. You know, it's still a very good crowd for what it is, but I don't know. I feel like some people might stop coming if they know.
Well, you're right, but there was, 80 cars there? 84. There should be 120, 150 cars at that race every time. I mean, it's still, to me, as the pinnacle late model stock race, I guess, now. I guess kind of go between it and North Wilkesboro now to some extent with the Cars Tour race. But, being the top of the top for that line of cars, it don't pay enough to me. I mean, $30,000 is a lot of money.
Not past winning, you don't really.
Right. But when I see a dirt late model race, they having multiple races a year paying $100,000 a win or $50,000 a win.
Asphalt purses are.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So why is this race not? And I think you got to bring back integrity to the race to get sponsors to buy into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's something else. I don't know. It's I could do. If it were me, if my hands were on it, I'd do a lot of things different with it. I can tell you that. But just in hosting our iRacing deal, I can understand their pain.
Sometimes you just have to throw your hands up and be like, "You guys got to start wrecking yourselves." You know?
Y'all got to police yourselves. Which, in saying that, I felt like Connor Mosack. No, not Connor Mosack. Who was it? Connor Hall's guys got in the fight with.
Is that, I never even knew who the fight was between.
It was.
There were so many people that got into each other.
I can't even remember now.
I couldn't tell you who was actually fighting in that race.
But they were down on pit road fighting. But then they throw each other on another guy's car.
That would have been my car.
And the guy just over there kind of pushing them off. I'd have been like, no, I'd probably knock somebody's teeth out at that point. I'd have been the guy that was most mad at that point.
And it messed the fender up and all.
Oh, it did. It caved the whole hood in. I'm like, y'all apparently haven't bought hoods and fenders lately because things aren't cheap.
Even if it wouldn't have messed anything up, you put somebody on top of my car. Golly.
No, we not having that. I don't know. It's just, that's what I'm saying. If you're in the pits fighting and everything else, in my opinion, you shouldn't be on the track that day. Not like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just having an all-out brawl. I get jawing back and forth. I understand that. I mean, I understand you're going for a transfer spot and all this other stuff. And you got to defend yourself if somebody comes up to you, which we'll get in a little more of that here in a little while from this past weekend at Talladega. But I don't know. It's becoming it's a good race.
Oh, yeah,
Still,
sure.
the race is good. The racing action is good, but just all the sideshow stuff is just.
Yeah, well, they need to
I don't
stop
need it.
stop trying to have built-in carnage. In my opinion,
Exactly.
I don't like the caution of 25 to go.
No, that's
Should be at least 40 or 50. If you
well,
want
in
to do
my opinion, you got a 200 lap race. If you want, decide on how many you want. You either want one at lap 100, or you can do it every 50,
that. Yeah,
and then do 50, 100, 150.
yeah, I'd be fine with that.
That'd be fine. But 25 laps at a half-mile track.
It's meant to just say, all right, here we go, break each other for the win now.
Exactly. Just run over each other. But Trevor Ward ended up winning the race. Good battle between him and Landon Huffman. Connor, I'm gonna ask you, because I've asked myself this honestly. If you're in Landon Huffman's shoes, yes, I am proud of him for driving a clean race and trying to keep it clean. Now they got together, but
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
that was just racing, and Landon kind of let him go, I guess, or they just kept racing regardless. But if you're in Landon Huffman's shoes, what do you do at that point for a win like that? That's probably still, regardless, right now, the most prestigious late model stock win out there. I'm not saying you rear him or anything, but what do you do? Do you drive it like
tough.
he did?
I feel like he did the best you could be in, because the only thing he could have done was just backed off and just random. He could have to just get in the back of him. He did the best he could on the outside, and I felt like he did. He held him tight, but I mean, I don't know. I think that's the best way he could have done it. I don't think they would have liked winning the race that way.
No,
of just
I feel like if it were me, and I said this during the race, even I said, I think I would back off just a little bit, fall behind him, because obviously my chances on the outside, because he was beating him to the line every lap was beating him to the line. I get run up there and keep trying it, but I think at that point I'd have said, all right, let me fall behind him, put pressure on him, maybe a bumper. I'm not saying dump him by no means, and see if I can get back up under him, because it's outside it. And
I get that. I think
because they ran up there for what, 15 laps or so.
I feel like that also might have been his best chance. I think if Ward had him cleared, he'd have drove off. I think he was able to keep him at bay because he was on his outside. I mean that's quite possible. If he'd got behind him, he'd have to get to him the next corner, because if not, Ward was faster at that point in the race. So if he'd had to really put some hot pressure on him for him to.
That makes sense.
I think keeping on that, the outside was not. I mean, some restarts, the outside rolled way better than the inside.
Every heat race, everybody on the outside rolled faster than the. I was sitting there watching it because Zach Miracle was in it when I was checking him out. And if he started on the bottom, he was peeing there every time. Yeah. And he was right around that 8th to 10th spot just to transfer. And if he could get on the outside, because that was the one that they had so many cautions in, and if he was on the outside, I just kept paying attention.
It also seemed like at this point where the tires are so worn out, it was hard. It was just hard to pass on the inside, because you don't have enough grip up off the corner to do anything. If the outside guy can carry momentum, he's just going to hold you at bay.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, I was glad that Landon drove him like that, and made a race out of it, rather than just doing what some other people do and just wrecking the wing.
Yeah, we've got tired of seeing.
Yeah, I'm really tired of seeing that. So kudos to them for a good run and driving clean and having a good race out of it, making a good race out of it, because man, that is becoming so normal now for people to just run over somebody to win a race. And even and we were talking about that track the other day, even I don't know who it was, but somebody went around, basically asked everybody, you're in second place coming out or on the last lap here, what do? Move them. I mean, that's really what everybody said.
Yeah. I would do it if they had to move me to get around me,
yes,
or I mean, if it turns into kind of a bumper brawl like that, maybe. But if the guy doesn't do anything but pull down to the inside of you and try to race you, I don't think.
And that's how I am myself. I try to be. If somebody wants to play bumper tag, well, we can play bumper tag. But if you're gonna drive me clean, I'll drive you clean.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm gonna drive you clean first of all, anyway, because that's just, I mean, how you are, how I try to be. I mean, we gonna do that. I mean, we might not make it easy on everybody, but but there ain't no sense in tearing up stuff for no reason. And I don't know. And that's what stunk is. I looked at it. Did you see the purse breakdown for it?
What did it say? Like, was it like 8,000 per second?
8,000 per second. It goes from 30 to 8. I was like, ooh,
Yeah,
that's a big drop.
it's a big drop.
And that's what stinks is you go out there and destroy a car. You know,
Yeah, you ain't.
you're out of
It's more
a
for
lot.
notoriety than anything, really.
Exactly.
You don't win. I mean, 30,000 a lot, but I'm sure you calculate what they spent to run that. It's kind of
The tires that they
even just hotels and all that.
Oh
stuff.
yes,
I'm
for
sure.
I guarantee you there was probably at least a third of that spent to run that race.
Just and if you don't win, you're not.
Yeah, if you don't
not
win,
coming out
you're
with
not
anything.
coming out to the positive. Which I think
that's-
might be another reason that the guys are drive like that. I don't know. Which I think more of that is just taught no respect anymore. But
Yeah.
I don't know. But all in all, I thought it was a good race.
It was. Thankfully, the 25 lap to go caution. I think. I mean, other than Quaffle probably having it under wraps, it didn't really ruin anybody's race. Thankfully, I've seen the last couple of years I went down there. They had that caution. I think it was at 10 to go at one point.
Yeah.
And it just like whoever was 7th was just diming it off in there and hoping it sticks. Everybody on the outside of them is going to get used up.
Bobby McCarty and Carson Quaffle there. What did you think about the racing between them? Bobby was not too pleased with it.
What happened? I didn't see.
I don't know. He said
Bobby blew up.
He blew up.
Oh, that's
But he
I
said
do
before
remember-
that. But he said
I
before
remember
that
them interviewing him on the screen there.
Yeah,
he said, heard something about it.
Carson kind of used him up quite a bit, and he said he was going to remember that. I think
Yeah,
something
I
about
remember
him and
that.
JRM cars all the time.
I don't know. I didn't.
Him and
Nothing-
Josh didn't like each other.
Nothing I saw was, and I'm no Carson Quaffle fan. I guess I don't really care, but I don't know. I didn't see what he was upset about.
I didn't.
Maybe
It looked like everybody else was racing out there.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe kind of push up into him one time, but
Bobby, I mean, I imagine he was mad because Bobby was out front the whole day, and then one time he got passed, he got doored a little bit, pushed up the track, so he wasn't getting past a whole lot. He was fast. He was super
good.
fast, qualifying and everything. He was super fast, and so I don't know. So, but I would like to see some, like you said. I think we need to take away that 25 to go caution. Now I will say, and I went back and looked at it to kind of confirm what he said. Connor Hall, and maybe they were just mad at him because of how he acted earlier in the day. They had Connor Hall 3 laps down, and he never got lapped. Not early in the race. Early in the race, they had him marked 3 laps down, and he had never got lapped at this point. Now he did later in the race. He actually ended up coming off, I think, completely.
you might have.
So they were trying to figure out why, and they were just giving them, "Oh no, you're that."
The race control was awful. I
That's
don't know if you can see it on TV, but they would do the choose with 1 to go. The choose call in there,
Yeah,
and half the field, the leaders would be going into 3, and the last few cars were still choosing at the line. If you were past 20th, you weren't going to be in your spot.
Oh wow!
To start the race. I mean, it took them forever. They finally just started slowing down the pace, but I mean, it happened 5 times before they finally realized.
Pickett with 2 to go.
Yeah,
Technically.
but it was like the most obvious thing to do to just say, hey, we're going to choose from 2 to go now. But no, they took them forever to switch it. So like the field was so messed up coming to the green for past the first 6 or 7 rows because it was taking so long to choose.
Yeah, that seems like at a track like that, everything needs to be better. I mean, you expect it to be better, you know? I don't know. I mean, I know it's hard to sometimes. And I know we all get in that at every track sometimes, but that just seems like it needs to be better. Which we've had the same issue over at Florence last year, like in the 400 over there. And that was kind of a mess with some restarts over there. And I mean, it's just hard to do. When you're on that small of a track, even pace laps go by fairly quick. Speaking of, I know one thing. I felt like we were going to have 47 pace laps the other night at Dillon, and I had no clue why. I don't know, in the Legend race.
And my first heat race, we rolled off. We probably did 5.
I think
6
we did in
caution
ours
laps
too.
before
I was just like,
we took one to
what
go.
are we doing?
I know.
I was getting dizzy back there trying to keep tires warm.
Arms getting tired.
Whew, let's go. But anyway, I don't know. So, that's enough of that. Congratulations, Trevor Ward, on winning the 300. Since we're covering 2 weeks here. Anyway, let's see. Texas was up after that, so we'll just cover all of last weekend.
I really can't tell you anything about Texas. I didn't.
Other than
never really got the chance to watch it.
Other than William Byron won.
Yeah, I
mean, it was.
I heard
race.
For what I heard, it was better race than
it was.
Texas usually has.
It was mixed feelings on it. I know listening to the podcast, just because I like to hear their sides of it too. Junior actually thought it was better racing. The other boys from Door Bumper Clear didn't really think it was too much better. They thought it was one lane racing, and it kind of was, and that's what happened with Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson,
it still looked like they had a problem where they could just suck the side forks off of them and kill them.
Bubba was probably one of the fastest cars all day. Bubba Wallace, surprisingly, he seems to do that about every year. It's like he picks one track, and that's the one he's stupid fast at. So, he was fast. He should have won that race, really. Late race restart.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Byron kind of stole it from him.
Yep, Byron. He was there, though. People talking about Byron just stealing all these wins this year. Yes, I mean, I get that, but
that's also
you got to be there.
I mean, that's a skill, being able to come on in the late restart and make something happen.
Exactly. So I thought, I mean, it's all right. I mean, I hated, I'm not a Bubba hater per se. I don't like his attitude.
Yeah, I don't really.
But it's just, he's not my driver. And people say whatever because of that, but he's not my driver. I mean, I ain't going to really say I got a lot of drivers out there right now. I got ones I like more than others. Kyle, if I had to pick one right now, I'd probably say Kyle Larson. I just like it. I like his driving ability to be able to jump between every type of car in the world and be good in it. So I don't know. But Bubba I just don't like. So whatever. So but it was good to see him run front regardless. So in saying that, real quick, while we're here and talking about that, since we're covering these 2 weeks, Connor, you got to step up your game.
Yeah, I think Kyle was looking okay. He was running decent, I thought, until he.
Oh, I looked at the wrong one on yours.
What'd you say?
I did look at the wrong one. Hold on, let me see. He got wrecked, though, didn't he?
Yeah, something broke or something happened. I thought
it didn't change where you finished it.
Well, I know he wrecked.
So, going back real quick, I had Keselowski, you had Kyle Busch, and Sterling had Chris Buescher. I ended up winning with BK.
There you go. You might have a chance then. Looks like I'm about out of it.
You're just technically not still out of it, but you got to pull out some wins.
Yeah.
Sterling finished second with Buescher. You finished third with a wrecked Kyle Busch.
Yep, my man Kyle's got some ground to make up at the Roval this week.
Yes, and that's typically he has a love-hate relationship, I think, with places like that.
Yeah.
One time he'll be great. Next time he just has issues, and not even of his own making. But what I could see out of him, and we'll get into this here in a little while because we still got this week's race to talk about. Is I'm trying to type Sterling to get his pick, but
I think he wants to be.
Kyle is good. Kyle has been good, and I think we've talked about this before. It's like everywhere Tyler Reddick was good in that car.
Oh yeah, they had their
they had
tracks
a good notebook.
they're good at.
So
and they are
Tyler was good at there.
Good at road courses. I don't know if the Roval could be thrown in
Yeah.
with that or not. But I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. I'm not getting my hopes up, unfortunately. Ain't looking good.
So, anyway, real quick on the points, since we're came off of that at Texas. Sterling's still in the lead with 24 points. I am in second with I said 20. I'm sorry, with 14 points. I am in second with 12 points. Connor's in third with 7.
Let's see if I can muster some strength and have a
You gotta
respectable finish.
you gotta knock out some wins. But the way I always see it is you the way this always happens. It seems like even in the regular season it happened. Is like whoever picked good the first couple of weeks, all of a sudden it was like, all right, we're losing our good picks. Then whoever else came up and picked him, and it's like,
I feel like I just had some bad luck on the days that I
exactly
use my good drivers. They have an issue or something.
It's been a good one. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all real quick. We were off. We were doing stuff. We didn't even pick for Talladega. And you know what? I'm not mad about that.
No,
Not really
that's
mad
kind of
about that. Because that's a crapshoot anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
granted,
actually wasn't terrible from the part.
No,
what
it
I saw, it
wasn't.
wasn't a big one. I don't believe, other than coming to the finish.
Coming to the finish was the biggest one. Other than that,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of an uneventful race, really. I felt like you could have dropped it back to a 20-lap race and had just good race. I don't know. I used to love watching Daytona, Talladega, all those, and I don't know. I'm just not into it anymore for
I
some
don't.
reason.
Yeah, it's like it's just too much. I know I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, it's after, and I guess probably when I was younger,
Yeah.
seeing a big wreck was exciting, and now one thing older, another thing you're driving a car yourself, and it's just like it don't excite me very much to see big wrecks.
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't love the package anymore either. It's just like
Yeah.
you can't go anywhere. It's kind of, I don't know. It don't feel like. Seems like if you get stuck in the pack, you're stuck. You're not gonna be able to make it up really unless something major happens.
For sure. Let's go ahead real quick, knock out before we get too deep into it, because we still got stuff to go back to on Saturday. Yeah, we still got stuff. So let's hit some sponsors here real quick. Want to talk about SRI Performance, guys. They are your one-stop shop for all things racing. Guys, whatever you need. I know it's getting that time of year to either rebuild a car because your track season's over. Time to, fix whatever you didn't get to all year, want to fix, you just didn't have time. Or also, just like us down here, got big races coming up.
Oh yeah.
So you guys need to go get all them parts and pieces that you need for your car. Go get all the good stuff and get it on there. They got everything you need. Nuts to bolts to all the performance parts. You can get complete engines if you want from SRI Performance. So y'all head over there. Go online, www.sriperformance.com. Fill that card up. Put in promo code CBONE, TNSC is in.
Chicken.
BONE 10. Get yourself 10% off there at time of checkout. Same deal over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, guys. They are you guys rebuilding cars. You had big wrecks or something. You need some of the structural steel for it. Head over there. They got everything you need. I don't care if you need roll bar tubing, if you're that good at it, whatever. If you just need some painted aluminum sheets, you dirt guys, head over there to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. And not just your race car drivers. Everybody else, if you got any projects going on, they can get any material you need for any project. So y'all head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, the sister, kind of the parent company, I guess you say, for SRI Performance. So y'all head over there, check them out. All right, let's get into this. There was a truck race, at Talladega. Let me pull everything up here real quick, so I'm not talking out my tail here. typical truck race, pretty much. Brett Moffitt won. We'll go ahead and say that. Brett Moffitt won. Pretty big wreck there right in the middle of it. Just a lot of people taken out in it. And it just seemed like just terrible driving more than anything.
Usually, you see that in trucks at super speedways.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't. I'm not a fan. I don't know.
It's just so much super speedways now.
Yeah, it is.
And it seems like I don't know. The pack racing don't excite me as much anymore. I kind of like where they could kind of drive through the field if they were good, you know. Even kind of the tandem stuff was kind of cool. I thought just to see them able to find somebody and go to the front, you know.
Yeah, that was actually.
It just seems like they're in a pack right now and they're just stuck, massive cars, just 3 wide, can't go anywhere.
I liked it actually. I liked the tandem racing. I don't know, there was something about that. People were like, yeah, well, you know, you just had to line up with somebody and it wasn't really racing. You just got a huge run. Yeah, but you had to time those runs right.
Yeah, it just felt, I don't know, it just seemed cool.
Yeah, it did. It did. It seemed, it was really cool. And like you said, it was.
Yeah, and even though with the, you know, some of the other packages they've had since then, it still seemed like you could kind of get a couple cars and make some moves and go to the front.
Yeah.
So like everything now is just so bogged down, you can't go anywhere.
But I want to talk about real quick what everybody has seen. Happened in the pits.
They might have a video of what actually happened. Everything I've seen's been after they've already been separated.
Everything was, and there was one they were down on the ground, and that's kind of the best one.
It's too.
And that was
Sanchez,
Nick Sanchez, and
Matt
Crafton.
Probably the two most unlikely.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like.
Well, Matt's actually kind of scrappy.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like he's just kind of. I don't know. I've never. You don't see it all.
Yeah, you don't see he don't say a whole lot, but he's kind of scrappy. He's kind of a quiet. He's kind of a Ryan Newman type. He'll once you rattle his cage, he's ready to go. What was said? All right, the first story we got was from Nick Sanchez. All we see on the video is basically Corey Roper dragging Nick Sanchez away. Face just bloody.
Wow. That was I know another driver.
Yeah, it was Corey Roper dragging him out of there. And they're just down on the ground. He's trying to hold him. Now, all right. I think and I get it. You're in the heat of all that happening. Fights happen at racetracks, unfortunately. It happens. It's happened since the beginning of it. It's going to keep happening. Fights happen. And there's probably been many things said. But what really messed Sanchez up, I think, we don't know anything yet. NASCAR said they're going to make some determination Tuesday or Wednesday. When Sanchez got up, he gets up and says, I'm going to blankety kill you at Homestead. Bad choice of words, in my opinion. Bad choice of words. Because not only now, first of all, yes, I know there was a fight that happened and somebody got hit, somebody got busted open. I get all that. But now they're going to say, oh, he's threatening him. Not a good look for anybody.
Nah.
Now, it's not a good look either to bust somebody's head open either. So Sanchez's story was when he come out of there was he got tapped on the shoulder and sucker punched. As soon as he got tapped on the shoulder, he said Crafton just punched him right then, and they went to fighting at that point. And I mean, whatever. I mean, if that's what happened. Now, yesterday, I'm scrolling through social media. Matt Crafton finally put something, or somebody put it on there for Matt. I don't know, whatever. But it got put on there. And Matt Crafton's words were, yes, I walked up to him and tapped him on his shoulder, But he turned around, and we had a small discussion. What it made it sound like to me was basically Sanchez cussed him again.
Yeah.
And when he did, that's when Matt popped him in the eye and busted his eye. Possible broken nose, or that's what Sanchez said. He said his nose was a little broken too. So apparently,
wow.
I don't know if he got hit that hard or he hit the ground that hard, one or two. But there was a hit somewhere that was pretty hard.
You're so random for like over a super speedway race. You don't see that.
Yeah, well, but Matt said in his post that he said, yes, this did just happen in a super speedway race. He said, but this wasn't the only thing I was upset about. He said, I've been raced like this by the same guy all year. I personally think Crafton's had a rough year. He's out of points, which is unusual for him.
Yeah,
actually.
even a couple.
So he probably is highly frustrated, and every little thing is highly frustrating him.
Oh yeah.
These young guys are coming up. Fortunately and unfortunately for all of us, I mean, they're going to take his place someday, and he sees that. I mean, this guy's later 40s, I think. So he's been in the truck series for a long time, and I don't know. It's a bad look, regardless.
Yeah.
To come up somebody's face. I mean,
I haven't seen
face
that in a
was
long
pouring blood.
Usually when they fight, it's just like
Oh yeah,
they kind of shove, a punch gets thrown, and then it's just a big
yeah, and
crowd of
they might
people
fall down.
Yeah,
That's the worst.
yeah.
They look good, but that's too close because they tripped over somebody.
Yeah, you don't see many just hockey fights in NASCAR anymore, I guess.
No, and I was kind of impressed. Now, in saying that, I was also kind of impressed that that Nick Sanchez got up. Now, he was also being held back. You can say a lot when you're being held back. But he was still ready to go. But like I said, you can say a whole lot when you're being held back. If this guy wouldn't hold me, I'd, whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those things. I don't know. Well, I would ask you, but I know your thoughts. You got turned in a super speedway race. Unfortunately, that's racing. But when you get raced, and I know you haven't necessarily, I'll just go back a few weeks. We talked about it. You hadn't been just necessarily raced over and over like this by someone, but just say the other week at Dillon, there was a particular car out there that just kept driving you and multiple people bad.
Yeah.
Let's go with bad. Dirty. Real dirty.
Okay.
Man, that gets under your skin.
Oh yeah, it's just that's the thing. You feel like if you don't, tell them to stop, they're just gonna keep using you up. They think they think they can just do it.
Right.
So, I don't know. That's a tough situation. I don't know. Altercations aren't, I don't know about physical altercations, but hey.
But I will say, Connor will get out on the front stretch and
anybody
start talking.
run their mouth.
I liked it.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. Just, and I will say, it's anybody really, but you in particular. Let's just say you. Yes, you've been racing bigger cars for a little while now, but yes, you have to earn respect, but you have to hold your ground too at the same time.
You can anytime if you show that you'll back down, they're just gonna use you up. They're gonna act like you're not there. You gotta enforce your will a little bit, but you just gotta respect. Hey, you do have to earn respect, but you can't ever go out there acting like you can't do anything because you don't have the respect yet.
That's right.
It's a weird way to
It's a weird balance.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean, because if you go out there and just let the guys push you around, you never earn respect. They just push you around. Now, if they go out there and they push you one time and you push back, but you don't wreck them, I mean, the same, you kind of eye for an eye basically on the track. It's like, all right, well, maybe I can't do that to that guy. But he's just only giving me what I gave him, so I can't really complain. And so they think about that the next time.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I think there's a lot of that's missing now. And so no, I don't condone what Matt Crafton did, and I don't. We weren't there. We don't know the whole situation. As far as apparently there's a couple different stories, and each side is going to make themselves sound like the victim in it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know how that is. But man, I will ask when these younger guys that we've talked about on this show are coming up and not showing any respect at all because it's a bad thing in racing right now. Period. I mean, it's not just, but it's going all the way up into NASCAR. We don't have the Tony Stewarts and Dale Earnhardts and all those guys there to kind of, or Kevin Harvick's leaving. So
that whole generation's kind of.
That's what I'm saying. So are we mad at guys that are kind of going, telling them, you got to quit driving like this? I mean, I don't know who's gonna step up and be that guy.
I don't know. You're gonna have to find.
Is William Byron gonna be the old guy in the bunch? Right? William Byron and Ryan Blaney gonna be the old guys in the bunch? Man,
I mean, really, Kyle Busch is about the only one left that's from that era of racing, and
he is, but he's never really been one. Other than with Joey Logano, he's never really been the altercation guy.
Yeah, I don't.
He will go in the media and say whatever he feels, obviously, but he's never really been one to kind of step up to anybody. And
maybe old Chastain will do it.
And I kind of hope he does. I kind of hope he is that guy in Cup. But man, it seems like when Hornaday was in the Truck Series, you didn't have guys driving like that because you see what happened with. I mean, you had him and Kyle Busch got into it when Kyle Busch was a lot younger, obviously. And no, Hornaday didn't fight him or anything right then, but they never had a problem after that. And I've heard over the years that there were some long conversations after that, and a lot of people respected Hornaday in that garage.
Yeah,
and rightfully so. So I hope some people step up and be that voice, but you can't drive like this.
Yeah, I know.
I wish somebody would step in legend cars and be that guy.
We need them, don't we?
I tried the other week and scared them off from the track, apparently.
Oh, yeah. They weren't back, were they?
No, they didn't come back. They left right after that and didn't come back. And I just went down there really to try to give a word of advice. And I don't think they liked it. I'll go ahead and tell that story just a little bit. Connor wasn't in the back with us to have all that fun, but we were at Dillon 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. And we were in the heat race. I can't remember where I started, but I never draw good for the heat race, like never. If I start inside top 10, I'm doing good half time because I never draw good for the heat race. And I've tried drawing first. I typically drew in the back. I went this week. I said, I'm drawing first. Yep, still drew in the back. So, anyway, there was this young guy. I didn't know he was a young guy. I didn't have a clue who was in the car, honestly. He started on pole for the heat race.
That's what's real. We got to start qualifying.
He drew pole. So you did have to pass him at some point in time, but I think you were up. Where'd you start at? Do you remember?
I think it was decent.
Yeah, you were up front, so you got around him pretty quick. But my problem was I got stuck behind a line of cars that was behind him. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't the fastest thing on the track. Now, he wasn't slow, but he just wasn't the fastest thing on the track. And when he, I don't know, everybody tried to pass him, and it would take laps to get around him because he'd just chop you off or whatever else. He's just trying to block. He's trying to save whatever position he could, which was fine. I mean, if you want to drive like that, but I come from a time when you get one chance to block like that when you're chopping people. I mean, running your lines is another thing, but if you're just chopping people, you get a chance, maybe two, to do it, and then you get moved. Mm-hmm. Well, everybody was being very patient behind him, very patient, probably more patient than I would have been, honestly. And so we run up there, and I get to about 2 cars behind him, and I start watching, because I was watching already, but people would try to go to the outside of him, and he just keep coming up track. Like, intentionally, like trying to put him in. Well, I mean, you could see him, like, actually go to the right. Not just, like, coming up out the corner. I mean, just turning to the right. I'm like, this dude is literally trying to put people in the wall. And he did put a couple cars, actually. They scraped the wall because of him. And I didn't ever get to him to the last lap. Well, he tried to chop me and block me and everything. Well, we went through 3 and 4. I just had the bumper on his bumper, and I think I just pushed him majority of the way around just to let him know I was back there and wasn't happy with the way he was driving. But I didn't dump him, didn't do anything. I just bumped him. That's all I did. Well, we come in the pits, and I wasn't upset about it because he hadn't really done anything to me yet. But I walked down. They pitted it a little ways. I don't know, just not very far from us, really. And I walked down there, and I had no clue who was driving, like I said. And I said, who drives this car? And the boy's dad, actually. He drives it. And so at that point in time, I knew the boy. He was grown, but he was a younger guy. So I said, man, do you have a spotter? And his dad looks at me at that point and says, no, he don't have no spotter. He didn't run nobody into the wall. I mean, that's exact words. I just looked at him. I'm like, what?
What do you mean?
Exactly. And I'm like, dude, yeah, he did. He run a few people. I saw on different occasions he run 3 people into the wall or tried to run them into the wall. And I told him, I said, you keep driving like that, not only are you going to get somebody else hurt, you're going to get hurt yourself. Because you can't do that. And the guy looks at me, he says, we run dirt. We don't even run those spotters. You can't pass on the outside. I said, you can't pass on the outside? Yeah, you can't pass on the outside. You're not supposed to pass on the outside. I said, boss, that's not how this works here. We pass on the outside all the time. But we give for the other guy. I mean, yeah, you don't just give him the spot. You're still going to drive hard down there. But if he's there, you don't just keep going.
Yeah, if he's there, he's there.
So anyway, he said, well, we run dirt. We don't run those spotters. I said, and I just kind of pointed around the track. I said, do you see any dirt here? And I walked off, and actually somebody else kind of jumped in there. Like, man, he was kind of running people up. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the story on that. So they left after that.
During the rain delay, they popped out.
We had a rain delay, and they just loaded up and left. I didn't want to run them off, but I just want to. But I don't want to run them off. I just want to learn a lesson that you can't just.
I mean, you don't want to do that. I mean, these cars are just
no. It was rough. So anyway, getting back to the truck race. Brett Moffitt wins. Typical Talladega truck race. Other than that, Cup race.
Blaney.
Yeah, Blaney won. I'm just trying to go back through it. Like I said, there wasn't really anything too eventful. Other than a gas can going down pit road on fire.
Yeah. That was
the funnest thing I saw was Stuart Haas cars.
Yeah, the
Talladega.
That was
nice
cool.
Throwback.
I wish I could have been one too at some point.
Oh, that would have been great.
In the field, that'd have been nice.
That would have been great. So anyway, that was pretty cool. But Harvick was real close to pulling it out, but it didn't matter anyway because windshield bolts came out of it and they disqualified him.
That's almost a good thing he didn't win because that'd have been.
I know that'd have been.
I wonder if they'd have even done it.
They said they're not even going to try to argue it or protest. I mean, there's no sense.
Yeah,
there's really no sense. I mean, yeah, they got sponsors locked down already. They got a new driver coming in that car. There's no sense in fighting it at this point. I don't know. It is what it is. I get the rule. I don't know. I guess rules rule. And whatever. Yeah. I feel like they probably came out with a windshield going like this for 500 miles. I don't know. So, I do want to go back real quick. So, congratulations, Blaney. I want to ask you something. In the week leading up, was announced that Kyle Busch Motorsports was sold to Spire. Along with Rowdy Manufacturing, the whole shop. I mean, everything. It's a complete sellout. I was kind of surprised by that one.
I was, but I don't know. I felt like it could happen just because the trucks weren't running that great. He seemed like I don't know. I think he just kind of is at the age now we didn't really want to juggle all that stuff, and it's surprising. I mean, there used to be Harvick and Keselowski and all had a team. They've all got out of it. So yeah, I hate it, but I'm glad at least somebody bought it. And just gonna keep some trucks on the field. They didn't just close down.
Right. It was, he said years ago that he would like to keep on running it until Keelan got old enough to them share a truck for a year or so. And now
I don't know. Spire wants to give him a get offer, I guess.
Yes, probably so. Now in saying that, I saw a rumor somewhere. I don't know if there's any truth to this or not. I don't see it, but it could be. It was said that there may be some ownership options in RCR for Kyle Busch.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know if I see that.
I don't know.
Though.
He's been in the Chevrolet camp for what?
A year.
Ever since he
left
in 2007
exactly.
or whatever.
I don't know.
I guess
but it is a trend right now, kind of.
Well, I mean, he is a valuable asset. You still see a lot of people buying his stuff. And
well, now I will say this, and just like you said, he's asset. When it comes to talking to sponsors, all that stuff, we actually saw Richard Childress the other day. I said hi to him at a racetrack. He said hi back. So yeah, we were talking to him now. But anyway, Richard Childress ain't getting no younger.
No, he's getting up.
He's
there.
in his 70s already. He's gonna get out of it eventually.
Oh yeah.
And I do feel like if you tie Kyle Busch's name to RCR, you're gonna be able to pull more sponsorships, more everything else than you could just having Austin Dillon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I still think it's kind of, I don't know, that'd be kind of surprising if it happened. I mean,
It would.
I mean, it was
I'm
very.
just going with the hypothetical.
It was so
right now.
surprising that he even went to RCR. That's kind of
Yes, that was very surprising.
I mean, I understand it. All-star driver. Try and improve the
Every team.
race team a little bit. Yeah,
And I
but
hope they were.
it's just, I don't know. It's still kind of an odd fit. I feel like it's more of a necessity fit than anything.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think they're gluing well, but it's just, I don't know. That'd be crazy.
Not.
Yeah, if you would have said that 5 years ago, that, Kyle Busch not only going to be a driver but a part owner of RCR, that'd just be.
He's never. We would have said
Possible.
he's never leaving Toyota. He's
Yeah.
never leaving Gibbs. But yeah. And then Denny Hamlin signed back with Gibbs. All that. I think we talked about that last show. I don't know. BJ McLeod's ride got sold. The
Fire bought that too.
Yeah, Spire bought. That's what I was fixing.
Charter.
Spire bought another charter, but they're going to lease it out to Ross Chastain, Trackhouse.
Really?
They're leasing that out to them for a year.
It makes sense. I mean, Spire. I mean, they must have some money somewhere, but that 77 car does not run good at
Spire
all.
was. If you haven't ever looked at it, go back and look at the Spire story of how they came into NASCAR and how they decided, what there was never a competition plan there.
Yeah.
There was a business plan. Their plan was to come in, we start and park so many races, and we can make money, and we make X amount of dollars. At this point in time, we sell. Mm-hmm. That was their plan. Well, then who was it? Justin Haley?
Haley won them at Daytona.
Won Daytona for them, and they saw how much more money they could make. It was like, wait a minute.
Maybe they can.
Maybe we can
do it.
be competitive, and so 77 has not run good.
That's just
77's horrible. 70, but
Way far off of 7 even.
I think that's driver.
I know, I know, but I feel like Ty's not that bad to be that far off of.
I don't know.
I mean, I think LaJoy is good, but I don't think he's some
he's not that.
otherworldly driver.
No,
I don't
he's
know.
not. There's something off about that 77, like I said, but
Because it just runs awful.
I feel like they're getting the same stuff. I
don't know.
feel like
Well, sometimes
I don't
being
know. We're not in it.
Sometimes being the number 2 at a smaller team like that, is
And you wonder
a little bit less.
if that car is just still under that plan. It's like, all right, we're going to be competitive with this car. We're going to sink the money into this one. This one just finishes races.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe
They
got bigger plans to be more competitive.
They are a business, flat out business. That's what they are. And racing is a business. But I'm wondering, like BJ McLeod, what's he going to do? What you think? He's always been a fixture. I mean, never run up front. Never, other than some Daytonas and Talladegas, you know. I hadn't heard anything he said he's going to do. He was part owner of that, too. Yeah. It was one of the smartest business decisions he's probably ever made because he bought the charter they had. It was him and what's the guy that used to drive for Roush?
Matt Tift.
It was him and one other person, I think, in there. They bought that charter for $10 million.
That's what I'm saying. He can sit on that money he made for the charter.
Sold it for $40.
He can do whatever he wants, I'm sure.
Sold it for $40 million in what, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years?
It wasn't long.
Wasn't long at all. That's a good return.
Hey, I just sit on that and be like, I've had a good career.
I'm good. See y'all later. Let me take my 10 out of here and go, or whatever it is. And so, that's good for them. But I'd like to see, because I don't feel like BJ McLeod's going anywhere. All of a sudden, you're going to see him back in cars.
Well, it's like he seemed like he was on his way out. He was kind of messing around with some Xfinity stuff, and then all of a sudden, he's back in Cup Ride every week. I mean, sure, not a competitive one, but Cup Ride every week, you know, not even a part-time, just, you know,
he's
a chartered every week car.
Week. But I feel like if they didn't sell, they were going to have to give it up due to the performance clause and charter clause.
They started doing that.
Yeah, and that needed to come in effect, I think. Just people sitting on them and not doing anything with it. So, anyway. Real quick, what's up there, guys? Watching us on, hanging out with us there on the Facebook and YouTube and all that good stuff. Landon, Matt, Kale, what's up, buddy? Kale had him another good run this past weekend. Top 5 finish. Yeah. For him the other night.
I want to go race the Legends on Dirt one time.
We need to go do it. Gil, can we come over there and race with y'all? I think Connor can fit in your car. But anyway. We just come drive y'all's. Can we do it one time, please?
We can switch one weekend.
I can fit Levi's. He can fit in yours. We just swap one weekend. Then you come down, you can drive ours on asphalt. So anyway. All right, real quick, guys, if you are in the market for a set of good headers for your race car, like I said, big races coming up or rebuilding for next year, whatever, you need a good set of headers on that car. No better place than going to ProFab Headers and Exhaust, guys. ProFab Headers and Exhaust, they are quality that wins. They're just awesome stuff, guys. All their mild steel, their stainless stuff. It doesn't matter. It is great. I mean, I don't say that just to say it. Their stuff is when their slogan is quality that wins. That's because everything that comes out of that shop is 110% quality. Their quality control is second to none for sure. So y'all, if you're in the market, like I said, head over to ProFab Headers and Exhaust. Talk to my buddy Andrew over there, and they will hook you up for sure. Also, guys, Earl Ramey Racing Engines. I gotta go spend some time with Earl. Coming up here real soon. We got to get some power back in that ride over there behind Connor. It's time to get that thing back on the track, and but Earl's getting her freshened up for me, ready to go. It's gonna be about brand new by the time it gets done. So I will have zero worries about power. That is for sure. So go get you some power from Earl Ramey Racing Engines. If you're in the market for, I don't care if it's a crate motor, built motor like that, late model stock motor like we call them, modified guys, Earl Ramey's your man. Super late models, don't care what it is. This man is Earl Ramey Racing Engines is some of the best on the market. So head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines and pick you up someday. Get you some time on that chassis dyno too. That can tell you a whole lot there. That chassis dyno can. You can figure out a lot of issues there that you have or could have, or figure out just what makes the absolute best power in your car. So head over to our Ramey Racing Engines, and they'll hook you up. All right, I need to pull up real quick. We've had some iRacing going on.
Yeah, iPacing.
iPacing. That is exactly what it has been. Some good old iPacing. It's been rough out there, to say the least. We've had, since we've been on here, let's see, we had Atlanta. And
Did we talk about Atlanta?
no, Atlanta was the next night. After that, and then this past week we had Lucas Oil Speedway and the Pro Late models, and we had the Legends at Bristol.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot. Let me pull up all my results here so I can
I know I got
see.
KO'd in both of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like my points took a big hit there.
We'll get to the points here in just a minute. Let's see if I can find our results here. Yeah. All right. So at Atlanta, I hit the wrong button. I love when that happens.
iRacing app here.
There we go. All right, our iRacing, the Chicken Bone Alley Fall Spectacular, presented by Fresh Chef, on Talking Dirt. Atlanta with the street stocks. All right, I'm gonna tell everybody again. All these tracks and cars were voted on by our guys. Now, I did stick them, me and Connor talked about it, and we kind of stuck them in where we thought would be the best fit. Are they a good fit on some of them?
No.
No, not at all. But there were other tracks. Yes, I will say Legends at South Boston probably would have been
That's the
better.
only thing we might could have done is gone late model stocks.
But
Bristol.
that's what I was going to say. But then you got to put late model stocks at Bristol. I don't.
Might have been a little better being a little more contact can be made without.
You're right. But
I wouldn't have liked it, but
I wouldn't have liked it either. I load late model stocks, and I wanted to see them on a true late model stock style track. And we ran there and had a good race.
in the spring,
Right when first late model stocks came out,
Yeah.
pretty much, or right after. It was right time they come out, pretty much. So we opted to put legend cars on Bristol. But anyway, so Aaron Smith took home the win at Atlanta in the street stocks. Probably our best race so far.
oh, easily, good race.
Probably our best
Love to
race
do
so
it.
far. It was there were still some cautions in it.
But they were not. It was bearable to me. It was.
Lena said we need Myrtle Beach in the late model stock. I agree with you. That is what I put on there to vote for. I agree with you 100%. I think Myrtle Beach is the best track for late model stocks. I don't know. You were in it. What you think?
Street stocks.
Yeah.
pretty good race. I mean, it was weird how the cars were like deadlocked on the inside and outside, but it was fun.
Yeah, one line didn't really seem to move.
You couldn't move. It was like down the straightaway, the outside line would fly by you, and then in the corner, inside line would take position back, which was it was fun. It was good. It was out of the ordinary, kind of odd super speedway racing, but
you could probably
pretty
bump
good
with those a little more.
Yeah, you could bump pretty good. Atlanta's kind of weird, kind of how you dip below the apron there on the front straightaway, cut off.
Yeah, there were some.
That kind of caused a little bit of problems, but that, I mean,
there were some people kind of upset about that. They were like, "Well, we should have been using the line rule." I'm like, "Well,
they do use that a little bit at Atlanta, don't they? They kind of cut it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I think they kind of do. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't like the line rule and trying to throw a judgment call in there. So I was like, no, we're not. We're not doing that. All right. Left Atlanta. it was time for dirt. We had a double header week last week. Okay, I want to go back real fast. While we were in Atlanta, we had an issue.
Yep.
There was all of a sudden, I don't know, what was about 5 cars, 5-6 cars dropped. If it would have been one person dropped out of there, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's your internet issue. It's your computer issue. I'm sorry. And there were still some guys saying, well, other leagues look at it if something like that happens. It's just like saying you blew a motor that day. And I get that, but I like that if it's 1 or 2 people, I can justify that. When it's 5, it's hard to justify that to me. And I just thought, it just wasn't fair to me.
Yeah, it's just not.
Exactly.
You want to keep people coming, and it's just you hate it, but you kind of gotta.
Yeah, you got to make a decision there. So, we threw a couple ideas around what we could do to make it right, but not hurt the people that finished up front in this one, because we didn't want to be unfair to them either. What we came up, I think there was only 2 cars that couldn't get back in it, but there was them other cars. There was a couple of them laps down.
Yeah, we try to get them laps back, and
so I mean, it became apparent that we need to do something. Mm-hmm. So what we came up with was, let's have, we had a doubleheader coming up last week. Let's add a 9th race in and have another doubleheader week. So we'll get to that in just a minute. So that was our decision that was announced this past week during the doubleheader. Okay. And so we'll go into what that is here in just a minute after we go through these results here. Doubleheader race number 1 was the Pro Late Models at Lucas Oil Speedway. You were holding your own there for a little while.
Well, I caught a bad draw, kind of started in the back, but I mean, I was okay. I mean, I was going, that happens. That's part of it.
Yeah.
And I kind of came up there and worked till about 9th or 10th, which is about where I was on pace. And then I just got pile drives and took the left front wheel off, so I had to tow, and that pretty much ended my race. But I don't know. It was caution field again. Wish we could have seen it, because I feel like I'd like to see the guys that are good at dirt race there. I feel like that could have been a good show.
Very caution field. And I'm just going to throw it out here already, guys, because this came out, especially in the second race. Everybody on there, I have either raced on iRacing. Most everybody I've raced on iRacing with at some point in time. A lot of them, they are actual racers themselves. A lot of them. There's some that are not, but a lot of them are. But everybody on there we've raced with beforehand on this, and they're all good drivers.
Yeah.
But there's been guys getting in here, and I'm not going to say just a couple, because it's been a good bit.
Yeah, it'd be easy if it was just a couple guys coming.
They are driving over their head big time.
Every lap.
And hey, I like the fact they're driving hard, because we got good money on the line, from all our sponsors support, like people at Fresh Chef, being our presenting sponsor this year. But man, in order to finish first you must finish. We also had an issue. This is, the fun part about iRacing. Good Lord, the crickets outside. The fun part about iRacing, that's the air compressor, letting air off. Is you have the issue of internet issues. Well, we have a admin, a guy who is kind of our race director, essentially. Well, he at his house, a storm came through, and he actually texted me about an hour before, messaged me about an hour before, told me there was a storm coming through, and hope nothing happened, but if something goes on, that's what was going on. About 10 minutes before the race started, he texted me. He said, dude, my power, internet, everything is out.
Thought the worst race could have went out too.
Yeah.
Kind of
So-
out that way.
So we did the best we could. I had Connor in there, but it's stupid hard.
If
to
it
be
didn't
a
happen
admin.
around me, and even if it did, if I didn't see it, I feel bad just
yes,
kicking somebody
yes,
because half the time
exactly.
it was never conclusive. Half the people said,
One did it.
yeah. Half the people said, well, it just happened. It's just like,
I get it, and it was I don't know. So it was just a tough situation. But at the same time, it was a very tough situation. But at the same time,
oh, I mean,
like I tell everybody, you got more than one pedal there.
oh, for sure. It wasn't a.
You got a gas, you got a brake. Use both of them as needed. So anyway, buddy, Chicken Bone Alley driver John Ruggiero Jr. took home the win at Lucas Oil in the Pro Late Models. So we moved on to Bristol in Legend Cars.
We ought to just skip it.
Man, this was the worst of the bunch. This was the worst race so far this year.
Yep. At least it's over. I think the schedule looks a lot more friendlier now that we've got that out the way.
Yes.
But man,
I agree with you.
whew, that was tough.
So we had a 20-minute because it was doubleheader. We had to put time limits on these to try to keep it within a certain amount of time for the broadcasters, for our typical admin. We try to keep everyone on. We want to be done on Tuesday nights before 10 p.m. And that's worked out great so far.
Oh, yeah.
I made 14 laps.
30
30
minutes. 30 minutes.
20 minutes.
20
minutes. Should have been easily done, even with a couple cautions.
Oh, yeah.
There's plenty of room to race on that track. But instead of trying anywhere else, I get you want to be on the bottom. I get it. But you can't pass on the apron.
for sure.
And people,
Which is why it's bad. I almost wish we had some mile and a halves just to get some racing in.
It's like, let's just throw trucks at Texas on there.
Or, I mean, even
They'll
like
spread
we did
out.
last year, like Xfinity Auto Club and
Yeah.
stuff like that, just to where you could.
I like that too. Like I said,
Yeah,
everybody they
it's
voted.
voted.
Me.
Yeah,
voted.
of course.
And I thought about that. I'm like, do we just need to go next time and just?
Well, I think
make a
next time we
schedule?
make some categories, maybe say, okay, vote for one super speedway, vote for one intermediate,
I can
vote for
agree
two
with
short tracks, and then
I can
that,
agree with that.
dirt's not really an issue
No,
like that.
most of them are
You
similar.
can do about anything anywhere.
Two of
But
the
maybe
small
next
ones,
time
two
we
of the
can
bigger
kind of categorize,
I agree.
schedule a little bit.
Typically, haven't had that
Yeah,
problem.
it just it worked
just
out about
happened
the worst
this
possible
time.
way.
And it's still great. I mean, don't
yeah.
get me
Oh, no,
wrong.
yeah.
I know we're sitting here complaining about it, but it's still great. I love it.
Oh, yeah, it's a blast.
So anyway, Aaron Smith picked up his second asphalt win of the season at Bristol. I told everybody he was going to be tough.
Oh yeah,
He
for sure.
he raced with us a few years ago. Dirt was not his thing then, but he even led a lot of laps at Lucas
Yeah.
Oil Speedway there. Until the track kind of slicked off, that's when John Ruggiero Jr. was able to come out and kind of shine there. So that was a fun race. That actually was fun. Even though there was cautions.
Yeah,
Like
so I
when
wish
there was racing.
I feel like there could have been the guys that are pretty good.
Dude, it was super
race.
racing up front.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I mean, they were passing, sliding. Man, they're crazy. But yes, Aaron Smith is always fast on asphalt. We were talking in the broadcast, and Ryan asked me who I think was the guy to watch for. I said, you got to watch for Aaron Smith in this. He's going to be fast. And he was. So congratulations to him. Actually, it was only 13 laps.
Hey, you let them.
And I gave him one extra. Sorry. All right. So, with the announcement of the second doubleheader, we decided this week is going to be that week for that doubleheader.
Go ahead and knock it out.
Let's go ahead and do it. First of all, we'll kick it off again with some dirt racing. But in saying that, I didn't want the race that we added to be a typical
Yeah.
race, even though none of these have really been typical so far. But I really didn't want this to be a typical race. So we kick it off with 410 sprint cars at Eldora. First race.
Yep. I ran some laps on that today. Try to practice a little bit.
Have fun.
You rip around there, I'll say that. I know I'm not going to be fast, but it's going to...
And it really depends where the line, because that line will move up quick. But
I know I'm going to be in the middle just to give myself room for error, because I know I can't race up against the wall.
So everybody
going that fast.
Everybody listening, give yourself room for error.
Yeah, because that is
Don't touch another car. You touch another car, you go flying. These have no bumpers.
No. And even if you bobble, you're going so fast, you're going to be in one wall or the other.
Yeah. So
pretty quick.
So yes, we will be racing there. I had it as 50 laps. We're going to cut it back to 30 laps.
That's good.
Yeah, kind of keep it. I think we're going to have twin 30s tomorrow.
Yes.
We should.
So yeah, that should be good.
Should be able to make it happen. Still going to keep these time limits.
Wait, do we have faith in our
No,
guys?
but we got to keep time limits now.
I agree. Time limits for sure.
We should be able to do 30 laps in 20 minutes.
Easily.
Should easily be able to do that. So that's what we're going to do. Second race. All right. Our guys know it. We announced it on the broadcast. If you didn't watch it, second race is going to be the Pro 2 Lucas Oil Off-Road Trucks at the Charlotte Legends Oval. And we decided to run a practice race the other night. Yeah. We ran a test race the other night. I was in it. We had some fun in it, actually.
For sure. It can be fun. And
we were racing hard, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we were rubbing and bumping, but we weren't just taking each other out. So you can rub, you can bump, you can nudge, you can push. You can't just slam into somebody. So guys, don't do it.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm worried.
Save us this week.
The braking zone's too big for our talent level, but it can be done. It can be a fun race.
There's a ton of talent level in this field.
Oh yeah,
there's a ton. Just can't lose your head.
Yeah. Hey, we had a great race, and we
did. We had a fun race.
It was fun.
I finished 4th. You win?
Yeah,
you won.
I slide job.
Yeah, you gave him the door on the last lap.
It wasn't as bad as I planned. I threw it in way harder than I thought, and it stuck.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot better.
Crazy
I kind of moved him up a little bit, but it stuck way better than I expected.
He said Connor used me.
I did a little bit, but I kind of went in there just going to door him, and it really just kind of quarter pegged him.
And that's why I wanted to ask Martinsville. You wouldn't have put it in there, Martinsville, like that.
Well, I doubt it. Maybe.
Maybe. All right, maybe. Nah. Yeah. It was fun. So I think it's going to actually it has potential, guys, to be a really fun race and good race.
The slower you go, the faster you are.
Yes, actually that is the key there. You don't want to spin the tires just the whole way around the track. The throttle control around the whole track, and you can have a ton of fun and race guys hard there. I hit the grass a few times. Well, the turf there.
That's kind of where I was.
I get hooked.
I was
every
straddling
time.
the gas.
That's how I
grass
was.
Or whatever.
That's how I was. So that worked out pretty good. But I messed up the last couple of laps and let James Murphy around me, our week 1 winner. So that's tomorrow night, Tuesday night anyway, for everybody listening on the podcast there. Tuesday night. Racing will start right about 8:45 on the dirt for heat races, and move straight into mains after that. Then we'll have a quick practice.
Well, hopefully this time too. Another thing with the admin being there is you don't have to throw caution for every single car spin. You can kind of officiate that,
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Be a good show.
Hopefully so. So y'all tune in to Talking Dirt Tuesday night. Like I said, about 8:45. Mains will start right about 9 o'clock. So can't wait. I'll be on there hosting a little bit. We'll have fun. With it. But want to thank Fresh Chef, as we have mentioned on here, for coming on for that. If you were in the Ray City area, anywhere up in that area, Mooresville, Cornelius, a few more places around there, guys, you have to visit a Fresh Chef I'm actually looking forward to when I do have to go get my motor because I think I'm gonna stop at one up there just
Do it
because I need it. Man, that's some good food. So guys, make sure go support them. They support us, support you guys, support you racers that's racing with us on iRacing. Go check out Fresh Chef. They are they're super food. If older guys want to go sit at the bar, there's a bar up there. Nice little area up there. Nothing crazy. Just a nice little restaurant. Reminds you of a feel of like a. All right, I'm not saying this to downgrade it, but it reminds you of a feel of say like a Ruby Tuesdays or something.
Yeah.
The feel, just the type look of the restaurant, like that, but better, but way better food.
good.
And not just like every one of them has the same menu. No, they got specials at each one of these restaurants that the chef is doing himself, and man, it's so good,
Cool.
so good. So yeah, y'all go check out Fresh Chef, and tell them thank you when you go in there. They might the workers there might not even know anything about this iRacing league, but I know the owner does. So y'all go tell them thank you every time you see them, and we appreciate their support for this year. Yeah, for sure. All right, what else? What else we got? I don't know. What's coming up this weekend?
Let's see. No racing for us this
Racing
weekend.
for us. We're off.
We're all
Actually, I might go over to Sumter.
Yeah.
They have I hear music outside.
Somebody just pulled up.
Probably my mom and dad. They Ryan Williams, who is Talking Dirt podcast, Talking Dirt, that is hosting our broadcasting our league. Ryan is also the announcer at Sumter Motor Speedway or Sumter Speedway. So I might head over there.
Sweet.
And check them out. And
I'll see. I might find somewhere to be at a racetrack. I don't know. Maybe right over there with you. We'll see.
come on.
Being Old Carolina's got a bye week this week too. So
Yeah, they do have a bye week. That wasn't too good Saturday.
what I heard.
How do we play against Georgia like we did? We lost against.
Well, I mean
Georgia,
that's the Carolina way. I mean this ain't nothing new, is it?
No, it's nothing new at all. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's just, man,
It's
so
tough.
aggravating.
I knew we weren't going to win that game. I didn't feel like.
No, I knew we wasn't
but
going
it's
to win
just
it.
kinda-
But how do you just play that bad? That's my thing.
Yeah,
it didn't look good the whole game to me.
Really, I didn't watch
At
it.
Georgia, I caught some of the highlights and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's just, man, it's like bad plays. I mean, just not good. It's like, how do you call a game against Georgia that, Georgia overpowered us? Yes,
Yeah, they eventually just
right. But we call good plays against them, So, I don't know. And it just
we don't play two good games in a row. I've always said that.
can't do it. Can't do it. I don't care if we'd have played Vanderbilt the week after Georgia. We probably lost it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But also, guys, want to thank our good friends, Dixie Made. Head over to Dixie Made right here in Florence. Head over right by the flea market, right beside it. Check out Dixie Made, guys. They have so many cool, good brands there. It is getting cool. We were talking about how we're about to have a heat stroke in here the other week because air conditioning didn't work. We did the old master reset on it, and guess it came back to life.
Fire back up. Yeah.
It came back to life after we tried it 7 times, and it's kind of cool in here tonight.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's all right.
I'm all right with it. So it's cooling down, so that means time to pull out them hoodies and jackets. And what better place to go get yours from than Dixie Made? Brandon's actually racing with us on our iRacing deal, the owner of Dixie Made there. So he come out of iRacing retirement to come race with us.
Wow.
So he's had some fun on it. And he's getting better and better on there every week. Because I'm gonna tell you, that's a tough thing to do.
Oh yeah.
It changes so much. iRacing changes so much. But y'all go over to Dixie Made, head over there. I promise you will find something you love over there, whether it's shirts, hats, glasses, jackets, pullovers, hoodies, whatever you want. Head over to Dixie Made. Tell him we sent you. Helps us out as always. He helps me out on the race car too. Cool guy, cool place. I love it over there. Good stuff. Also, MPM, McAllister Precision Marketing. She is also one of our iRacing sponsors. And we greatly appreciate MPM for all they do for us. it's been that's always a great relationship. But guys, if you're in the game, in this racing game here, unfortunately, it's not just always about results. If you're trying to move up in the world, sometimes it's about being in front of the right people. And she knows those right people to be in front of. So I think I need to hook her up with Connor there.
Yeah.
And we need Connor just to head on up the ladder here real quick.
We need to do it.
So guys, like I said, if you need help with your social media, with your any of your digital imaging, just anything, like I said, being put in front of the faces that you need to be put in front of the faces of, head over to marketwithmpm.com and get hooked up with Tanya there today, and she'll show you the way. The way of the racer. So y'all head over there, tell them we sent you. Also, RevMax, got to give them a good shout out here. Wore my race suit that they made for me for the second time this weekend. I like it. I feel like I'm breaking it in good now. It's all, anytime you get that new one, you like that new look, new feel, but they always all new clothes are a little stiff.
Yeah.
Nah, that was good. But yeah, I like it. It's comfortable to race in. I don't feel like I'm bound up in any way or, nothing like that. That's one thing I can't ever stand. I don't care nothing I'm wearing. Just during the day, I don't like to feel like I'm constricted by it in any way. So, y'all head over to RevMax. Awesome designs. I actually talked with Taylor the other day, and I think we're going to try to get her son Wesley in here. I think he's going to come over here to the shop sometime and sit down and talk with us about his micro sprints and stuff like that.
Sweet.
So appreciate them as always. All right, what else you got there, Connor?
Not a whole lot.
Oh, neither.
All right.
I think we're gonna actually. Me and Dave was talking about earlier. I think we're gonna move the charger car out of here into the other shop.
Sweet.
Might be starting to move some stuff out of this shop into the other shop. We're kind of working in it. We got lights all in it now and everything.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Gonna have some. It's cooling down enough right now. We can work it. But there's gonna be some. There might be some air conditioning coming in there here shortly. Anyway, heat and air. So might be a good winter project over there, getting everything else ready.
Turn everything over.
Yep. So once we get all that in there, we may move the podcast over there.
Cool deal. Just a little change of scenery, not bad.
We'll change the scenery. We gotta get some stuff on the walls to look good behind it.
Maybe I can bring you a door or something.
Something like that. I think we might set up a little different. Instead of showing the whole shop, we might just
have a backdrop. Yeah.
But we'll cut that door down a little bit.
Yeah.
Put it up behind me and put yours up.
Have two
over
of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I got
whatever else we can.
Hey, I tell you, we're probably going to change after this season. I got some doors with some nice tire marks on them.
I'm going to tell you got a driver's door that is apparently the most durable door I've ever seen in my life. That thing
has been beat out several times.
It has tire marks. But it don't ever look bad. That's the thing. I mean, it's tire marks, but
it's
looking
got
at
that far away look,
Yeah, exactly. It's a 10 from 20, promise. But also, it got dropped off the jack on one time.
Yeah, it's been to the ringer for sure.
Mine gets hit one time and tore all to pieces. I don't know how yours made it. It's got holes torn through it. I'm like, Oh, but anyway.
Cool.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Appreciate all our lovely affiliates also for sticking with us. But anyway, y'all check out iRacing on our iRacing deal on the Chicken Bone Alley Fall Spectacular presented by Fresh Chef. Y'all please come check it out. It will be on Talking Dirt. We'll share the link also. Share the live feed on Chicken Bone Alley's Facebook page. So y'all come over to Facebook, watch it, and because it's always fun stuff. I'm going to go see how the Miracle League game went, I guess.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all, and we will talk to y'all next time.
Have a good one.